Now, in our final segment today, I don't really know if the individual is a Democrat. In fact, I tend to think that he is not. I tend to think that this is a well-meaning pastor that has unfortunately stumbled upon Democratic talking points and has allowed them to sink into his church. And through it all, hopefully, I will show you that love is not the kind of virtue signaling that we see in society today, but something vitally and vastly different than that. So here's a pastor at a local church who's had some people come by and vandalize his safe space signs for the trans community. So obviously those in the trans community have come out, destroyed the signs, but this pastor is pleading with people to recognize that his church is a safe space for trans people. So here's that.
A couple weeks ago, some people came and tore down our signs and ripped them up. They're pretty difficult to rip up, and you can see it's hard, but you can bend them. They're coroplast. So we thought to ourselves, you know what? This probably isn't good enough. It moves in the wind, whatever. So we decided to put up some metal signs. Why? Because we want the entire community to know that they're safe here, including the LGBTQ community. But I want to say this to you. If you're somebody that tore down the signs or would have torn down the signs, that means you'd be safe here too. You'd be included. Maybe meet some people from this community that attend church here on a Sunday morning and talk with them face to face. You might find out it's really hard to hate up close. It's easy to do it in the middle of the night on a Saturday night, but you'd be welcome and loved here too, and you might just find out that you're worthy of love. So come hang out with us.
Now, as good-natured as this guy is, and as simple as his request is, I think it's a little bit misguided, and here's why. He's borrowing the language of the left to communicate to the left, which may not be the worst tactic in the world, except he's technically wrong. See, a safe space is a place where your ideas are affirmed and celebrated and where you will never be threatened in your current way of thinking. And in that way, his church better not be a safe space. And in fact, these people, that's why they're destroying these signs. I think they know better. I think they know that his church is indeed not a safe space. What this well-meaning pastor means is that he wants to be welcoming to those in the trans community, and he wants them to just try it out because he thinks that they'll have a better experience than they actually think they will. That men can come in with their dresses, and women can come in with their short hair and their double mastectomies, and that people in the church will actually love them. Now, by the way, this is true. By and large, people in the LGBTQ community rant and rave about their experiences in church, but by and large, I think either they're lying or maybe it was just one bad experience, and all of a sudden that means all churches everywhere in the world are going to treat them poorly. Now, regardless of that, the idea is just simply that this pastor wants these people to come in and experience it for themselves before they go on thinking that the church is not a place where they should be. But what these people are trying to communicate by destroying these signs is that we see through what you're saying, and we see through the fact that you consider this a safe space because, point in fact, those in the trans community especially, and more broadly in the LGBTQIA plus community, I'm sorry to give you this fact check, but the reality is they don't want safe spaces in the way that you think they want safe spaces. Here's what they want. They want you to celebrate them. They want you to affirm them, and they want you to tell them that their lifestyle is permissible as far as the scripture is concerned. And if you do that, then you might as well not call yourself a church, and then you can call yourself a safe space. See, by virtue of the fact of actually preaching what the Bible teaches, you are going to make your church a place that is not safe for them, because what they want is ideological cohesion. They want to be told that what they think is great. They don't want to be changed in their thinking. So in that way, you better not be a safe space for trans people. Yes, safe in the sense that you love these people that come to your church, but not safe in the sense that you are going to affirm what they believe. So here's the point. Stop pandering. Pastor, you don't put signs in front of your churches that say, adulterers welcome here, or porn stars welcome here. By and large, that's not your message. So why is it your message trans people are welcome here? We know what you're trying to do. You're trying to overturn years of the church being bigoted toward the trans community. Listen, it's not true. By and large, the church has been pandering for far too long, and this is why people go around destroying your sign, because they don't actually appreciate who you are and what you stand for. They despise you because they know you're lying to them. So it's time to stop pandering to a quote-unquote marginalized group of people, to hold space for them, as the new evangelicals say. And it's time for us to actually love enough to be honest. I guarantee you, the first Sunday that you preach, trans people, I want you to come to the church, because today I'm going to talk to you about what the Bible actually says about transgenderism. And the first moment you do that, if any of those guys show up, they will have a much better experience than if you just merely wanted to pat them on the back. Because loving people is not merely affirmation. And our society is realizing it more and more and more. And if you ask me, this is why more and more people are actually leaving the church. Because we think that it's our job just merely to encourage people. But that's not real love. What is real love? Well, it's not just affirming. It's calling out the best in a person. See, just helping a person realize that they're good the way they are is not really that loving, because it keeps them the way they are. It doesn't help them achieve any aspirational goal toward being better than they presently are. That's why Aquinas defines love in a much better way than we do in the present-day church. Love is not a safe space. Love is willing the good of the other. And if you truly will the good of the other, then you're going to tell them the truth, even when it hurts. People do not respect someone who does not have the courage to stand for the truth. And certainly not the person who they don't respect the person who doesn't have the courage to stand up for what they believe in. They are ripping your signs up because they are smart enough to realize that you're lying to them. You're not standing up for what you actually believe in. And that kind of cowardliness deserves the kind of retribution that these people are giving with these signs. And so the point is just this. I think the heart is in the right place, but we as the church have to get back to a true understanding of what love really is. If we can't help define it for the culture, then our culture truly will become more suicidal than it already is. As long as you are willing the good of the other, even if you are misunderstood, then bold pastor, bold Christian, keep on pressing ahead. Because even if people resist you to your face because you're not telling them exactly what they want to hear, it's possible that they are listening to you. And in a culture where people are constantly hearing only echoes, it's time for the church to be a real voice of reason and clarity in the midst of the madness. And so, if we want to truly this month make a difference in this world, we could do so by really helping people understand that love is not love, but God is love. Thanks so much for watching. That's all the time we have for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and to go with God. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely want to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Indie Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.